Welcome to episode 3 of Engaging Cities Fireside Chats. On each episode of the show, I talk to leaders who are paving the way in civic engagement in order to inspire listeners and share strategies that you can implement in your own community. This podcast is proudly supported by our sponsor, Conveo, the engagement platform for plans and policies. Check them out at konveio.com. I'm your host, Kelly Hickler, the community manager with Engaging Cities, as well as the founder of Cinovation Studio, which is dedicated to innovative civic education and engagement. On today's episode, I'm talking with the fabulous Corrin Wendell, the founder and executive director of YEP, Youth Engagement Planning. YEP is a nonprofit org that's focused on educating young people in grades K through 12 and beyond about urban planning and civic engagement. Corrin is so cool, and I want to be just like her when I grow up. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to grow up, but I do want to be just like Corrin. She is so creative. She recently wrote a children's book called Ava Tanner, the City Planner, and she created the first ever Girl Scout city planning patch. How fun is that? I hope you enjoy this episode and learn some great tips to include youth in your planning or other civic projects. Let's jump in. So very excited to have you today and hear about all the cool things that you're working on. So Corrin, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your background and what YEP is all about?
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kelly, so much for the invitation to be here today. We're really excited to share what we do as a nonprofit organization and how communities and planners can also utilize this information and kind of bring it alongside them as they're doing their plans. Or maybe even think about youth engagement in a different way than they did before. So I'm Corrin Wendell. So I'm the founder and executive director of YEP, Youth Engagement Planning, former community development director, and I've been an urban planner for almost 20 years. So I have a background in architecture and then city and regional planning. So I have a bachelor's and then a master's in city and regional planning, both from Ohio State. And the organization actually was founded back in 2006. Right coming out of grad school, we were actually asked to do an independent study on creating sort of a planner's day in school manual that we would bring to the classrooms, the K through 12 classrooms around Columbus, Ohio. And that was the first time that I had really thought about, well, how do we teach kids early on about urban planning? A lot of times when we talk to planners and you ask them, when did you learn about planning? It's usually after their first degree or even a second degree where they have learned about urban planning. So it's so important and, something that we find in our mission to be able to introduce the career earlier on. And so YEP was born. So YEP is a nonprofit organization that focuses on teaching kids K through 12 about urban planning and civic engagement and how they can create meaningful participation in their communities, how they can be voices for their communities, to be advocates. And then we also have a lot of free tools and resources on our website to help planners and as well as webinars and workshops to teach planners how to incorporate youth into the plans that they're creating so that you can encompass an entire community and not just a segment, leading out the important perspective of youth. And so with us being a 501c3, we've been able to actually have not only nationwide programming, but international programming as well, which is amazing. And we've been able to develop different kind of curriculum and programming for different types of youth, different age groups in that youth category. And then also planners to be able to bring that education to cities, to organizations, to kind of increase and enhance what they do as planners. So it's really been an amazing almost 18 years now with the organization. And we have a lot more coming. So thank you for the invitation. It's been really great to be able to kind of go out and teach this, across the country and internationally as well.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
And can you share maybe just, I don't know, one or two or a few of the specific projects that you worked on and gotten youth involved in?
Yes, absolutely. So it's often that we work with cities to enhance their plans to incorporate youth engagement and have their recommendations included into the plans. And then we also have events at the National Planning Conference every year that's hosted by APA, and we interact with youth of the city that the conference is taking place. And so then we incorporate a local plan or effort that's going on and include youth in that. On the city side, we were having a really good kind of outcome where actually the city of Little Canada, who I used to work with, they were doing a park master plan, and I had arrived just just before COVID, so February 2020, and they were trying to get their park master plan off the ground, and it was really tough to kind of decide like what did the kids actually want, because in the community surveys it did not include youth. And so I asked the staff, hey, would it be okay if we went back and sort of redid this part of it? And not everyone was super happy about that, like right away. But it was so important to be able to spend the time and effort doing that process in order to get the best outcome possible, especially since youth were going to be a major participant and a major stakeholder in this effort. And so we were able to go into the classroom. So we had three different schools and engaged with over 600 youth via
Wow.
yeah, it was really cool. We were, zooming in, we were sending, activities to the classroom, and they were able to do qualitative and quantitative type of activities for us to gather information. So they were taking surveys. We gave them explainer videos. We had them do an art project with whatever medium that they were comfortable with. So it's like clay or drawing or putting together, paper kind of sculptures. And then the teachers would send us the information, and we were able to catalog all of that data and then be able to come up with their top 8 recommendations for the park, for the master plan. And so what happened is all of their recommendations made it into the plan, the park master plan.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
they were able, it was so cool. They were able to incorporate all of their voices into that. And then just a couple months ago, they broke ground on the Pioneer Park playground, and all of the elements that they wanted to see in that area were implemented uh,
Yeah.
into that process. It was so fun. And then in full circle, which we love to do, is bring youth back, in the beginning, middle, and end. So they
Yeah.
were able to come to the ribbon cutting. They were able to see
Oh,
the outcome, and it was fantastic. So it was so great to have like that full circle moment with the youth, and they really felt valued, and they really felt like they were a part of their community in a very meaningful way. So it was super fun.
oh, that's great. That's so important. Even if they don't decide to become city planners, whatever they go on to do, at least they feel like, oh, hey, I had that experience where I was able to affect change, real change. I saw the physical results of me getting involved.
Absolutely. Yes. We love, in our organization, we really want to increase access to what we do. We want to reduce barriers. We want to ensure that they have a seat at the table and that they feel comfortable going to a city council meeting or a planning commission meeting and seeing the process happen, being a part of that local government process where they really can be change makers, and they can really have a voice that no one else has at the table. Their perspective's so unique, and it's so valued and deserves to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing that great work. And what you had mentioned to me before that you were selected to work on this Imagine 2050 plan. Can you talk through that and what kind of things are involved?
Yeah. So this is really an exciting opportunity where actually before Little Canada worked with the Metropolitan Council as a regional planner in the Twin City areas in Minnesota. And what they're doing as part of their Imagine 2050 plan, every 10 years, they update their plan for the region. So it's 188 communities, 7 county metro,
Oh,
and they
wow.
really want to make sure that they're like overlapping all of their resources and really maximizing and being effective with their, the planning efforts that they have. And so they selected Yep to be one of the youth engagement artists. That's what they call us. And so over between now and the fall, we're going to be engaging with all of the 7 county metro areas and putting on events where kiddos can come and interact with different activities. They can learn about the Met Council. They can learn about the vision and goals of Imagine 2050 and be able to have their own opinions and their own comments about what they would like to see in their communities. And this is really cool because it's like, natural resources, wastewater, parks and rec, land use, housing. So it really covers everything you'd see in a comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan for the region is what it is.
Okay. Wow.
And so we're going to be able to have individual, unique experiences for all of the youth. And we do K through 12, but we also incorporate youth 18 to 26 as part of our vision of what youth are. And so we already did one event with the Girl Scouts, and then we will be putting on the other events later on here in July, August, and September. And that is the first time that they have ever requested youth engagement in this way. So this is very novel, and this is very at the forefront of what plans really should be.
Yeah, this sounds like this could serve as a really great example for other agencies to follow and see, okay, what did they do? How did they involve the kids? And let's do that too.
Exactly. Yeah, because a lot of times I talk with planners and, it's hard because, they don't have enough maybe staff or resources or funds to be able to do these things. And we would like to show them, we can help you with the tools and resources. We can help you understand how to budget for this. And people, some planners maybe are more skeptical, can youth really be helpful to their community at their age? What can they actually offer? And it's so enlightening and eye-opening for all of the planners that they actually wouldn't change a thing once they've incorporated youth into what they do. They will always do it that way from now on. So so this is a great example for others, other NPOs, other cities, communities, counties, large and small organizations can utilize sort of, this template and be able to curate for.
Oh, okay. That's great. So what if someone, I'm sure everyone would love to work with you, but what if someone can't bring you on to work on their project? Are there a few tips or tricks or things that you could recommend to city planners to incorporate, or maybe even other planning consultants to incorporate into their work?
Oh, absolutely. We have, I think we have it on our website or even our social media channels. We have the top 10 ways to incorporate youth into what you do. And these are the very easy kind of low hanging fruit opportunities for planners to be able to do this. And, one is just have these discussions, have an open discussion, start to talk about it. What does it look like if we are always thinking about our youth in the planning that we do, in the events that we're doing, the programming, the community engagement? We ask, if there are line items for community engagement in your, city budget or a consulting budget to incorporate youth as a line item in there so that they're accounted for and that you have the staff. We're always available to either work remotely or come out to your community to help you with this. We'll be doing that in a few projects later this year, which will be so fun. We're so excited about it. And also, if you want to have stakeholders at the table, there's an opportunity for cities to be able to incorporate youth commissioners on a planning commission, on a park and rec commission. Little Canada did this. We changed our ordinance so that we could have high schoolers sit on our planning commission and our park and rec commission. And there were 2 young ladies of color, and they were amazing. And they started as freshmen, and they actually want to go 3, they signed on for another year, and then they loved it so much that they're on for another year. So they're going to be in there 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And they're full voting members. They get paid like the rest of the members. One of them is the vice chair now of the Park and Rec Commission.
Okay.
So they're being super leaders in what they do. You could have a youth council. You could have a separate council just dedicated to youth. During National Community Planning Month, you could go into your library and schools and do a planner's day in school. All of the PowerPoint and all of the materials are on our website. You could just download them for free and go in, teach about what you do, kind of spread the word about planning and how fun it is and what you do as a planner, maybe share projects or what's happening in the community. You could have a web page, on your city's website that's dedicated, to how youth can participate in different efforts that are going on. So there's many different ways to be able to do this outreach and
Yeah.
then also have it ingrained in what you do. Just have it a part of it
Yeah.
and not something extra or special or an add-on. Like just
Yes.
put it right in there, from the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I really like about everything you're suggesting is it's not just an add-on to, okay, we're updating our code plan and we'll add on a survey for kids or
Mhm.
something that feels very much just like an afterthought. This is about fundamentally changing the way that you're doing your process and incorporating kids into the overall process, like with the youth commissions or them being a part of the real Parks and Rec Commission. Or I love that story.
It really is. And it's not only you, like I always say, I get so much more out of anything that I do with youth than I ever put in. Like it is such a gift to be able to interact with youth and to be able to have those meaningful conversations. And you are also growing them in a way that they've never grown before. You're, giving them a window into something that, maybe they felt was not for them or that they didn't, belong to that process until they're older or until, they're more qualified. But that's not the case. They're qualified at their ages, in this moment, because we don't know their perspectives until they tell us. And a lot of these plans, the comp plans, they're 20, 30 years out. So by the
Right.
time a 10-year-old realizes a comp plan, they're going to be my age, and so why not have their perspective and then they can see that realized over time. And it really just gives them more, opening the doors into kind of being a part of things and growing that civic kind of relationship between a city and a person. They kind of don't know the backroom stuff that we know. We know a lot of
Right.
things that happen behind the scenes, and they don't. So it's really great to be able to introduce that early on, the vocabulary, kind of the process, and then really taking them through the engagement, kind of sections of like we're listening, we're engaging, we're circling back, we have a best practices on our website that people can look at. And it takes you through all of the different engagement processes from initial engagement to kind of your finishing engagement and what to do and everything in between. So it's really a great guide for that, but you're really bringing the youth along for the entire process.
That's so powerful because I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like when I was going to school, any education about civics was related to national, is at the national level
Yes.
about
Yes.
how Congress, the Congress works or House of Representatives or this, how you vote for the president or whatnot. But there was really no education or discussion about even maybe a little bit of state level, but nothing
Yes.
regional and definitely nothing on the local level.
Right.
So what a great opportunity to educate kids on how, hey, you can have an impact, even much more of an impact at the local level. Like, yes, of course, vote for the president and, be involved at the national level, but you can have a huge impact if you get involved locally. So,
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I wanted to mention two of the things that we launched this year that have to do with the introduction and kind of bringing kids along early on. And so we published our books, our first ever children's books. We have Ava Tanner, the City Planner. This is available on Amazon. And we have a lot of teachers and a lot of planners that have purchased books to bring into school libraries, to bring into the classroom, to gift to little, kids. This is
yeah.
geared towards that 5 through 11-year-old age group. And it talks about like we have a glossary, we have an activity in the back, we have a story about changing your community and things that can come along the way and advocating to city council. We have a whole I'll show you she goes into city council to advocate for the plans that they want to have for the community. And it just is an eye opener for kids. And there's never been a city planning book for kids like before.
Yeah, I
Like
have
the
not
first ever.
seen that. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, there was the Richard Scarry books. Like,
Oh, yes.
what is that one called?
I think
Yeah,
it's the Ultimate Cities. There's one, like a city one. Uh, yeah, one of those. You're right.
yeah. There's little stuff like that that's kind of beat around the bush. Like it kind of touched on city planning, but it never called it city planning.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then another one is our first ever Girl Scout city planning patch. So this is, planner and training. Yep, and then youth engagement planning. And this is available on the website as well. And we developed a curriculum alongside the Girl Scouts for all of their age groups for their girls. So they're the youngest ones, brownies, all the way to the explorers. And
Wow.
this is something that Girl Scout troops can do, or you could just do it in the classroom too. You can kind of achieve all the different areas of curriculum and
Okay.
then earn a Girl Scout or a patch, our youth engagement patch for planner and training. And
That is so
also
cool.
is so fun. Yes.
I want that. I get,
Yes.
I get that patch.
Yes. I'm going to send it to you. Yes.
Okay.
So you can I know, right? It looks good. You can
I know. I'm gonna put on my jean jacket. Um, yeah, and see, I was actually Girl Scout, so
oh, great.
and I
Oh my
still have like my brownie sash with all my
Oh, I
badges.
love it. Yeah, you can have it. So when we were in Minneapolis for the National Planning Conference, we put on an event. So we had 40 planners and then we had 100 Girl Scouts come and they did 5 rotations of urban planning activities based on our curriculum for the patch. And then they all earned a patch and a book before they left.
Oh,
And it was outstanding. It was so fun. We had such a fun time with them. And some of them were like, this is the best day ever. Like they just have the best response fit.
I love that. Where can people find the curriculum for the Girl Scout patch?
Yes. So so they can email me directly and I can send it to them. The patches, you can order them online and then we should have the curriculum. I believe we're trying to upload it on the website. So
Okay.
it'll be under the resources. I have all the printed copies. So I've been mailing it to people and then emailing it, but we should have it on the website here soon. But if you want it right away, I'll email over the PDFs. So that
Okay.
workload can have
Okay.
it.
Great. Yeah, maybe we can upload that to the Engaging Cities website
Yeah.
too. We'll push
Yes,
it out.
that would be
Um,
great.
oh, all right. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with our listeners today?
Yeah, I always want to, we do a lot of keynote speaking. So if you need Yep to come and deliver a keynote speech, we're so happy to do that. We were in the UK last year. We're going to Canada and a bunch of other cities this year. And, doing workshops and speaking and all that fun stuff. So we'd be happy to do that. Or just contact us through the website. Should you need planning youth engagement efforts, we would love to help with that. And, upcoming, we have a couple more. We're going to do a series with Ava Tanner, the city planner. So we're going to have different types of chapters and introduce different characters. So that's on the way, which is going to be super fun. And then we're working towards a YEP camp that we are going to start to put together the logistics for that so that we can have people kind of deploy camps, where they are in their cities to be able to have youth
Oh,
engagement
how fun.
on a more technical level and more
Okay.
activities. So we'll have, all of the materials and supplies that you would need to put a camp on. So those are all coming soon. So it's really exciting. And if you see, youth engagement and, this type of, planning type. So we've had people say, can you do something youth engagement and more climate or youth engagement and school planning or youth engagement?
Yeah.
There's a certain typology that you would like us to do or help with or develop curriculum, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you with that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so in case I don't think we already said the website. What is the website?
Yes. So it's www.youth-engagement-planning.org. And then I don't know if people we have I don't think we have the QR on here. We don't. But yeah, so just youth-engagement-planning.org. And then we're also on Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me too, Corrin Wendell, on those channels as well. And yeah, we would love to help you and just enhance what you do as planners, which would be really cool. Or go into the schools and teach about what you do as a planner. The kids love it. The teachers love it. It's such a wonderful experience. So we encourage everybody to go out and do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. Yeah. And I have done a few events like that. And I have to share this story. I went to a kindergarten to teach kids about planning. And I cut out some pictures of things that you would find in a city. And I'm thinking of, what are kindergartners going to know? And then we're pulling up the pictures of things like, oh, kid, where do you think this should go in the city? And having them plot it out. And they hold up what I just cut out a picture of kind of like a meandering sidewalk. And I held it up and I was like, okay, what is this? And I thought, oh, they're just going to say sidewalk. And this little boy, kindergarten, was like, green belt.
Wow. You're like,
And what do your parents do? Wow.
that's amazing. You're like, and they know everything. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, there's adults who don't know that word. Well done.
Oh my gosh. And it's amazing what they absorb and they know and they understand already. Like it's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they are some of the most active users of the urban space or suburban space, public space, because they're walking to school, biking to school, going to play with their friends.
Yes,
They know a lot more
absolutely.
than we think.
They know. They sure do. It's so great. Well, and there's a lot of movements to have, more kid-friendly cities and kid-friendly, urban planning and urban design, that's based, for kids and families to be able to navigate. But it helps everyone. Youth are 22% of the population and they're often not included. I don't think we would not ask, other 22% of another population not to participate.
Exactly.
They
That's a
have so
great
much
point.
to offer. Yeah.
Yeah. Excited. Well, thank you, Corinne, so much for being on our podcast. And hopefully we get some of our followers who reach out to you and take you up on your offers to to help them out. So so thanks again. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Head on over to engagingcities.org where you can find additional episodes and other resources related to community engagement.
And thanks again to our generous sponsor, Conveo. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.